Good morning. This is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I would like to do a recap for you on my gill trade today. I want to cover when I'm going over my recap today some examples of some very bad trading and some examples of some really good trading, and I did both today, and I think we all do both quite frequently. The hope is just to mitigate your risk so that your bad trades don't outweigh your good trades. And today I managed to do that. I'm not overly happy with my total performance today because I took some stabs going with a bias going short on a stock when it ended up being long. And if I hadn't traded my bias, I would have gotten a better entry for a long. And this is just a good example of why not to do that. And we're all growing as traders and all trying to become better. So let me show you what happened. So first, formalities. Carlos, Norm, excellent watch list today. Guys, hit the bell on that thing so you can go live with them in the morning. They're giving you everything you need. So Gill, which was pointed out by them, is having a giant gap down. We've got earnings and news going across the, the activewear sector. And you'll notice here, one thing that I like to look for is look at this volume. Look how there's very little daily volume here, and then this massive amount of volume. Obviously, this stock is in play today, right? I mean, just look at the difference in the transactional volume. So now what I'm looking for on Gill, because of this big gap down, I had in my head that I wanted to do a rising devil on it. I've been wanting to do one for a couple of days, and I think I was really just biased into it. And at first it really worked out and it looked good. It did everything I wanted. It kind of had this descending pattern pre-market. It managed to consolidate and level off, pushed back up to VWAP, dropped down. So what I was thinking was it would pop up to around the 200. I was going to take it short at VWAP and then grab some partials as it dropped. So all of that worked out famously. It was my I read the L2 and the tape. Everything was going good. I took my short. I got a partial. And then I adjusted to break even, and it wicked through and stopped me out, and even managed to grab a little slippage. Fortunately, because I was playing the open, I was holding it tight. I didn't take a ton of shares, and I partialed out a significant portion of those shares. So now here's where I started trading bad. So I was short biased in this. So and every time the bid and the ask was really looking like it was a short, I kept expecting it to kind of hold this average and then break down. I don't know why. There was really no reason. This is an example of bad trading. So I went short here. I ended up getting stopped out. I actually went short again, ended up getting stopped out. And then I was like, all right. So I went really small into a short. It pulled down to my level. I averaged into the short just a titch because it looked like it was rolling over and it was going to break down. Lots of bids to the downside, even some below VWAP. Okay, we've got a shot at this. And the ask was weaning. And this just shows that the L2 gives you a lot of information, but not all the information. So, naturally, it came back up and it stopped out. Okay, at this moment, I'm like, stop. Okay. What are you doing here? What's going on? You're shorting right now. You're getting stopped off. The whole time you're doing that, Andrew has been long in this thing since since you stopped out. Andrew's been long and he's up $2,000 and you're just hemorrhaging money right now. So stop, think. So I went back to the L2, went back to the tape, re-looked at the levels and said, okay, wait, this thing is really, really strong. All right, speaking of really strong, hold on one second, guys. I'm still actually in the position. There. Okay. So, I just took a partial at quite a pop above $28. So anyway, back to what I was doing. So I refocused. It took just a second to really say, what are you doing here? Relook at the pattern. You're wrong. So I looked back over here and I saw all the asks were all elevating the price. All of these are bottom. It's managed to cross through all of these, and now it's setting on top of the averages. This stock is strong. The buy volume's coming in. When it sells off in volume, but the price doesn't drop significantly. It stays similar in an area. There's lots of things here that are saying it's a strong. The only thing that's not saying it's strong is my bias. All right, so now that I managed to flip, I'm looking at it correctly. I go ahead and I kind of limp into it a little bit here at 24.80. And then it pops up here a little bit, it comes back, and then it pulls back a little bit, and then I see everything light up. I see all the asks taking control. I said, yes, all right, I'm right, I'm in it now. I add into my position, so I go up to 500 shares strong, and then I start popping all the way up. All right, yes. All right, now we're making some progress. So now we come back here a little bit, we hit this nice mark, and it comes back here, it starts to consolidate a little bit, and I said, okay, I'm trying to do a little bit better on my add-ins, especially because I'm trying, I talked with Kurt a little bit actually, and he kind of helped me. Kurt, if I didn't do this right, sorry, I name dropped you. But what I thought is what I'm concerned about is basically VWAP and this average here. So instead of averaging in and adding in and expecting, to, hold it just for here, I'm going to take an add-in and I'm going to give myself a lot more room with my add-in. So I did my add-in and changed it so that my average would be the break of 25.59. So that average added in, I managed to add in a couple hundred more shares back in, and I was still floating a couple hundred at this point as well. Most of these are just 10% takes as it pops up. This one here, since I was hitting $27, this one was a good size one. But even at this point, I'm only out about 60% at this point. So I add back in a couple 200, raising my average, and now I'm ready for the next line. And now look, let's go. So now after my add-in, I got a nice pop, was able to take some percents there, and now I just took a break here, another cover here at the break of 28. So lesson for today from me, couple of things. One, get rid of your bias. Even if you're short biased, you can't trade your bias. I just showed you why you can't. Obviously reading the L2 and all those keeps you sharp. It helps you get in, get out, manage your risk. But that's a very easy way to only make $40 or $50 at a time. And then by the time you're done with commissions, you're going to walk away with a couple bucks for the day. What you need to make sure you're doing is not trading that bias, rather relying on the price action. If you're going to trade with a bias like I just did today, it might be the thing where you might want to take out the first 5 minutes from the market for your trading, because that way you'll have a chance to see where things are going. Notice back here on my chart real quick, if I had not traded the first 5 minutes, I would not have been involved in that at all, but I would have taken the same long that I just took right here for a continuation and a breakup, because that is absolutely the kind of pattern that I like to long into. So don't trade your bias and manage your risk, and you'll survive. Hope everyone enjoyed my recap today, and I hope you're all staying green. Thanks.